channel. This is Esther Herbal Soap Skincare and Lifestyle. So today I'm going to discuss a topic that was asked in my training group. I've never answered it in the training group, but I just decided that let me just answer this question generally. I want to believe that other people too are having the same question. Now, this question arises due to the fact that a lot of oils are now expensive, especially for those of us in handmade soap. It's not easy, honestly. It's not easy making our soaps. It's not easy our gain. You have to know what you're doing. You have to be sure. You have to minimize off cut. You have to do a lot of things to make sure that your money comes out and you make some reasonable profit. Okay, so I'm not discouraging anybody for making soap. There's no business right now in Nigeria that's easy. Everybody is complaining. People selling fish, people selling tomatoes. Today I went to buy tomato. Well, I bought tomato just about 2 days, about 3 days ago, 800 naira for this rubber paint that they sell. Today I went to buy it. It was 1,200. Just about a few days, you can imagine the increase. So everybody is complaining things are not easy. Okay, so it's not just soap making, it is not just skincare. Things are tough right now. So now we are looking, that I do generally advise anytime you're going into soap making or you want to make soap, and especially laundry soap. Okay, make use of oils that are cheap, that are readily available in the environment you find yourself. If you have more of palm oil, use your palm oil. If you have more of palm kernel oil, use your palm kernel oil. If you have more of coconut oil, use your coconut oil. If you have more of olive oil, use your olive oil. Don't say that because you are watching on YouTube or you're watching somewhere that people are making soap with olive oil or with castor oil, you now stress yourself and say you must get castor oil to make soap with. No. Don't say that because you saw a recipe online and the recipe, a complete recipe, a free recipe that gave castor oil, gave coconut oil, gave sunflower oil, gave canola oil, you say you must get those things. No. That is why I always advise everybody should learn how to create his own recipe by his own self. It's not about going to where they will teach you how to make soap by giving you recipe, or teach you how to make any product, not just soap, be it cream, be it any product, by just giving you recipe. No. The best thing is for you to get the formulation, so that if you want to tweak your recipe, if you want to change it, if you want to do anything, you'll be able to do it. So that's the advantage of what we gain when you come to train with us. We don't just teach you recipe, and we don't just teach you how to make soap, we teach you how to make recipe. I will just give you a video as an example, but I will encourage you to, if possible, do better than me. Create your own recipe better than mine. So we teach recipe. Okay, even though there are videos. Laundry soap, let me speak in relation to Nigeria. Okay, generally here in Nigeria, we make soap using palm oil, palm kernel oil, we use tallow, we use lard. Then for those that can afford the coconut oil, but generally globally, the oils mostly used in laundry soap are our palm oil, our coconut oil, our olive oils, our tallow or lard. Both tallow and lard are from animals. Okay, these are the oils that are usually used in making soap or laundry soap. Now, in an instance where, in short, palm oil is more expensive now than PKO, something that's not very, it's not common for you to hear that palm oil is more expensive than PKO. Usually it's PKO that's more expensive than palm oil, but now palm oil is more expensive than PKO. So what will happen? What this means is that PKO will form a bulk of your soap recipe compared to palm oil. In as much as I recommend using of palm oil, but if the palm oil is too expensive, how will your money come out? So that means that's the advantage of knowing how to change your recipe, tweak your recipe according to the economics. That means you use more of palm kernel oil now than your palm oil, because the palm oil is expensive. Okay, so now in some places, even both the palm oil and the palm kernel oil are expensive. In some places, even here in Nigeria, the shea butter is cheaper for them. That is what they have more. In that case, you are forced to make your soap, your laundry soap, with your PKO. How would you do that? Okay, so that is the question that arises. Okay, and I want to address it a little bit. Creating the recipe with the PKO is not a problem, at least for my students. And even for anybody that does not know what to do, at least you can go to soap calc. It will give you the amount of caustic, it will give you the amount of water. Okay. But let's look at shea butter. There are some things about shea butter. Shea butter is shea butter is gotten from the shea butter tree. It is from gotten from the nut of the shea butter tree. Is it not so? It has a nutty feeling. It is more like it is a butter because it is usually solid at room temperature. Okay, it has highly moisturizing and conditioning properties. That's why it's used a lot in skincare. Is it not so? Especially in creams, especially in butters, body butters and salves. It is used extensively world over because of its great moisturizing properties. Now let's list some of the things that make up shea butter. Shea butter is made up to 5% palmitic acid. This palmitic acid is similar to the acid found in our palm oil. Is it not so? So it's made up to 5% of palmitic acid. Then it is also made up to 40% of it is stearic acid. This stearic acid that we use in making cream and all that, shea butter also has that acid in it. Okay, it is made up 40% of it is 40% of shea butter is stearic acid. We have oleic acid. Oleic acid is about 48%. Then we have linoleic acid, which is about I think 6%. Is about 6%. So our palmitic acid 5%, our stearic acid 40%, our oleic acid 48%, our um, our linoleic acid 6%. Now, because of these properties that shea butter has, you know, anywhere you find palmitic acid, you find stearic acid, no matter what, that kind of soap will be hard. Because of these properties that shea butter has, shea butter can give you a hard bar. But again, because of some of the properties it has, it is highly conditioning. That means it moisturizes and protects, especially if it is the skin. Okay. But now we are talking of laundry soap. We are not talking of the one we use on the skin. So, but generally, if you decide to use shea butter to make soap, you get a hard bar. Okay. But now there is another issue. Shea butter doesn't saponify completely in, when you use it to make soap. No matter what, there will be some percentage of shea butter that remain unsaponified. I think about 10 to 11% will remain unsaponified no matter what you do. And remember, when you're making your laundry soap, you don't need any super fat in it. You don't need any extra oils flying around because they will affect the quality of your wash and all that, especially some delicate clothes. Okay, so you don't always need any unsaponifiable oil roaming around. But now when you use shea butter, especially 100% shea butter, you get up to 10 to 11% floating around. Now don't get me wrong, yes, there is 100% shea butter soap that is made. 100% shea butter soap can be made. But the problem is shea butter on its own don't give you bubbly salts. Okay, it gives you creamy thick salts just like palm oil does. Okay, so one way you can help combat that, if you decide to use 100% shea butter to make your soap, which can be done, but which is not so advisable, but it can be done. But I will advise it more for bathing soap, not for laundry soap. Okay, but it can be done. If worse comes to worse, I will advise you allow that soap cure long so that it gives you a really hard bar. You allow it to cure long. Allow it to complete its curing process of 3 to 4 weeks. Then I also advise to add sugar to your recipe because sugar is a foam booster also to boost the foam of your laundry soap that you decide to make with shea butter, or you also add your foam booster. Your foam booster could come in the form of your SLS, your SLSE, or your cocoa bentane, or whichever one you decide to use. Okay, those are some of the things you can do if you decide to use your shea butter 100% for your laundry soap. But I know it is done. I know it is done in some countries where they hold their soap, all whether bathing or washing is shea butter, because that is what they have there. Okay, so now another thing I'll advise is you can decide to mix this shea butter with some oils, at least 80% shea butter with 20% of some oils. Pick an oil that is liquid, pick an oil that has high leathering qualities. Oils like castor oil, oils like coconut oil, even PKO oil. PKO has properties similar to coconut oil, but coconut oil will give you more bubbly sorts, especially if you're combining with your shea butter. Okay, so at least 20% of that your oil, if because of the cost and all that, at least try mix it 80% shea butter, 20% coconut oil or castor oil or 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 PKO. Okay, don't mix it with palm oil, don't mix it with tallow, don't mix it with lard. They have similar properties. Both of them are hard oils. You don't mix hard and hard oils. Okay. Now that is for laundry soap, even for bathing soap. Okay. Now another combination you could do that will give you more better bubbles. That is if bubbling is your concern, oh, because it could wash, the soap could be creamy and still wash clothes well. But some people when they are washing and the thing is not doing as in kumpa kumpa, it is not bringing out that bubbly sorts like that, bubbles like that. They will feel as if that soap is not washing. You understand? So because of such people, if you can also use a combination of other oils with your shea butter. Okay, you can use oils like you can use, as I said, you can use a shea butter, you can use your coconut oil, you can use your castor oil, you can use even your vegetable oil and your PKO oil. You can mix your shea butter with any combination of these oils I have listed. Either one either shea butter with one of them or shea butter with two of them, making them about three oils altogether. Okay, but remember you need to know how to calculate your soap, your caustic, or as I said, you use the soap calc if you know how to use it. You understand? Either that, if you know how to calculate it yourself, you calculate to get the right amount of caustic that you use for this your combination of oils. A way you can combine them, let's say for example you want to combine three of them, let me just recommend a way you can combine them for more bubbles. It's not as if the 80-20, the one that I gave 80% shea butter and 20% soft oil, for example your coconut oil or your PKO will not to give you bubbles or to give you, but let's say you want to create a more bubbly soap, you can use for example your shea butter 20%, your vegetable oil, this our normal vegetable oil we buy in the market, you can use it about 20% too, or your sunflower oil 20%. But I believe sunflower oil will be too expensive for you to use it in laundry soap, so better still you can use that one, you can use that one in bathing soap. But if not, use your PKO oil, or sorry, use your vegetable oil 20%, that's 20% shea butter, 20% vegetable oil, and then about 30% coconut oil, or you substitute that coconut oil with your PKO. Remember I told you, in case you are watching this video and you are in a place where you don't have PKO very much, you can substitute it with your coconut oil or your PKO. Then you can use 30% palm oil. That means you have about 50% hard oils, 50% soft oils. It is still okay instead of the 80-20 I talked about previously. If you can afford it, let's say you're staying in a place where the shea butter is a bit cheap, you can use 80% shea butter, 20% soft oils, or use 20% shea butter, 20% of your soft oil, be it, for example, your coconut oil, or sorry, be it your vegetable oil, okay, then another 30% palm kernel oil or your coconut oil, another 30% palm oil, making it the total of 50% hard oils, 50% soft oils. Alternatively, I also discussed about you using 100% shea butter. It can be done, yes, it can be done, okay? But also remember, one thing I'll let you know, the kind of oils you use give you a final impact, gives an impact on the final quality and properties your soap will have. You cannot compare soap that you made with 100% shea butter and one that you made with 50% shea butter. No, but it will work and it will wash. As I said earlier on, the only thing I'd advise, allow it to cure long enough for it to be hard enough, and for the oils, because it has a lot of unsaponifiables, let oil not come and be staining somebody's cloth. But definitely it will not stain in such a way that you will say you can't use it. It has been done. People have been using shea butter for ages to make their soap, and it has been working. But I'm just telling you the truth, it will affect the final quality of your soap. So what I'll advise you to do, allow it cure longer, use sugar in your recipe, add SLS to it. I don't recommend using sulfonic in laundry, in cold processed soap, except if you have your own plodder, okay? But if not, use your SLS or any other alternative foam booster you have, okay? So I think this video is about 16 minutes now, and I don't always like making long videos. I think this is okay. If you have any questions, you can always ask. And then thank you all for watching my video up to this time. I want to say thank you all that have been calling. Thank you for those of you that have been purchasing our product. Thank you for those of you that have been calling us, that have been joining our classes. For those of you that have just called to tell us hi, we are very, very happy. We are very, very glad. Thank you very much. If you're just passing through our channel, we say welcome. It was nice being with you. If you're just meeting us for the first time, you can do well to subscribe so that you'll be able to hear more from us anytime we post, or so that you'll be able to ask us any kind of question at